The Pepper Root, Secrets of Muziris. Nyla and Imran were surrounded by the fragrant chaos of their grandparents' tiny spice shop in Fort Kochi. The air hummed with the scents of cardamom, cloves, and cinnamon. One sweltering afternoon, while helping their grandfather shift a heavy barrel of Telecherry black pepper, something unusual tumbled out. It wasn't a peppercorn, but a crumbling, tightly rolled palm leaf manuscript. As they carefully unfurled it, a hand-drawn map emerged, its faded lines pointing to a place they had only heard of in stories, the vanished port of Muziris. Their grandfather, Apupan, chuckled as he saw the map. "Ah, you've found it," he said, his eyes twinkling. "That is a puzzle from our past, a story waiting to be told. The story of the Pepper Route." He explained that Muziris was a legendary port, the heart of the ancient spice trade between India and the mighty Roman Empire, a city lost to floods centuries ago. The map, he confessed, was a replica he had created, a game to lead them on a journey of discovery. "The real treasure," he said softly, "isn't gold or jewels, but the knowledge of our history." The first clue on the map was a series of symbols, a single black peppercorn, a small boat with a billowing sail, and a cluster of 7 stars. "This points to the Patnam excavation site," Apupan explained, "where archaeologists are uncovering the real Muziris." The next morning, buzzing with anticipation, Neela and Imran boarded a ferry that chugged across the shimmering backwaters. With the palm leaf map clutched tightly in their hands, they watched the lush green landscape glide by, the salty air whipping through their hair. At the Patnam dig site, they met Dr. Asha, the lead archaeologist, whose passion for the past was infectious. She led them through the trenches, showing them fragments of ancient pottery, gleaming Roman coins, and even the skeletal remains of a wooden boat. Dr. Asha explained how the powerful monsoon winds were the engine of the spice trade. "Sailors would ride the winds from the Arabian Sea to India," she said, her eyes sparkling, "and then back again, their ships laden with precious cargo that was worth more than gold." Dr. Asha helped them decipher more of the map's symbols. The boat represented the perilous journey, the stars were the key to navigation, and the peppercorn was the ultimate prize. A new clue emerged from a combination of symbols, a drawing of a large, cantilevered fishing net, and a crescent moon with a wavy line beneath it. "The evening tide," Imran exclaimed, "and the Chinese fishing nets. They're lowered at high tide and raised at low tide. We have to be at the jetty this evening." As the sun began its descent, painting the sky in fiery hues of orange and purple, Nyla and Imran raced towards the jetty. The giant Chinese fishing nets stood like ancient skeletal guardians against the horizon. The tide was receding, and the fishermen were beginning the rhythmic work of hauling in their catch. The air was thick with the smell of the sea and the sharp cries of gulls circling overhead. Following the map's final cryptic arrow, they found a small, modern-looking clay jar tucked into a crevice at the base of the net's wooden structure. It was another piece of their grandfather's puzzle. Inside, nestled in soft sand, were several large, curved shards of a Roman-style amphora and a small, rolled-up note. Unfurling it, they read the words, "History is a treasure that grows when it is shared, not when it is hoarded." The next day, inspired by their grandfather's message, Neela and Imran decided to share their adventure. They curated their own Pepper Route exhibit at their school. With a few replica artifacts borrowed from a delighted Dr. Asha, they created hand-drawn maps, wrote out the story of Muziris, and made a series of sniff jars filled with the very spices that had once fueled a global trade network. The exhibit was a huge success. Their classmates were captivated by the story of the lost port and the daring sailors of the Pepper Route. Dr. Asha visited on the final day. "You've done something wonderful," she told them, her voice filled with admiration. "You've brought history to life. You understand that the real treasure isn't buried in the ground. It's in sharing these stories and keeping them alive." Standing on the shore, watching the fishing boats return at sunset, Neela and Imran knew their adventure was far from over. The Pepper Route was more than just an old map. It was a living connection to a past filled with brave sailors, bustling markets, and the tiny, powerful peppercorn that had changed the course of history. And now, They were its newest storytellers.